All right. It says we're live.
All righty, guys.
Hello.
Hello.
Good evening.
Happy Saturday to everybody out there.
It's happy hour.
Oh, it sure is. We're having a good time tonight.
I've got a glass of wine. What are you drinking?
Oh, man. I've got some Arctic Warrior American Ale, as well as one of my favorites. And some of you are going to criticize me for this, but you got to try it. This is Jack Daniel's Single Barrel. This isn't the old regular 1911, old number 7, whatever the hell it is. This is Jack Daniel's Single Barrel whiskey. Dang good.
There you go.
Love it.
All right. Well, we are coming to you. It says there's no one watching, but I'm seeing chatter. So
there must
maybe
be somebody watching.
StreamYard is having an issue.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just looking here on.
Is anybody hearing us? In the comments, if you can, if you're there,
yeah,
let us know.
Drop a comment if you can hear us.
Right, we'd like to kind of know where this is happening and working.
We are watching.
Good.
Okay, so I'm gonna take it. That means she knows
somebody's there.
Oh,
who's this?
I see. I'm gonna just start popping people up.
Oh,
there's Rachel.
Rachel Fox. Hi, Rachel.
From high school.
Yeah, awesome.
And everyone, welcome. Meet my mommy.
There's Paula.
There's my mom.
Hi, Mama Paula.
And we've got Lori. She says she can hear us.
Good deal, Lori. Thank you.
And passing it along. All good. All right.
Nice.
If you guys have questions for us, just drop them down below. We'll throw them up on the screen.
Kind of a question and answer thing. We're just sitting here. This is actually our studio that we use for our other YouTube channel, RVing to Alaska. We do a Monday night live every other week.
A podcast
twice a month kind of thing. And we're just kind of sharing the studio time now on Living Free Alaska here to come live with you guys to talk about whatever you want to talk about. We really don't have a topic tonight, other than
this is very different
Q&A.
Than what we're
we just thought we'd jump on and chatter a little bit and see how all y'all are doing.
Rachel says, "Hey guys, I feel like a stalker here lately, watching all your YouTube vids
you're
being
not a
reposted."
That's great.
I will have to say it's been fun re-editing and putting them up on the new channel. We've only seen white for the last December, January. So 3.5 months.
Like on the video that we had just put up a couple of days ago of us coming to our property for the first time with the motorhome. Oh, it's today's video. Yeah, sorry. I'm losing track of all this. It's happening so fast. But with the motorhome driving down our road, it's like, oh, is that what it looks like? I forget all the green trees and brush and shrubs and all that. It's just so beautiful in the summertime too.
Yeah, I kind of miss it.
Yeah, the wintertime's magical with all of the snow and everything and the cold. The wintertime is magical. We love that too.
Today, it got up to 40 degrees.
There was stuff dropping off of our eaves. It was weird. There's like little liquidy things dropping off the eaves of our house today. Like there's actually some active snow melt going on.
I wonder if we're going to lose our snoodle.
Oh, that's right. A little snoodle hanging over the garage.
Yep. Yeah. And I also noticed the snow over the woodshed is starting to slide.
Is it sliding? Oh, it's going to cause a mess.
When
it slides forward?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Lori asks, just wondering if you have any kids.
No. Well, yes, I do. and I mean, in the back of my mind, I have another. It was kind of a big day, but we don't need to go into that. But yeah, I do have 3 girls, ages. We're gonna go 21, 20. No, let's go.
She'll be 22 in June, right? June.
Yeah, but 18, 21, and 20. No.
18, 20, and 21.
Yeah.
Soon to be 22.
22.
They're all 2 years apart.
18, 20, 22.
And they live down in Washington.
They're with their mom in Washington. I'm sure they're having a great time. One of them's in college over near Chicago.
Yep.
Yeah.
In Illinois.
Yeah. Yep.
And I don't have any children of my own. I have a stepdaughter that I helped raise. However, she's doing her own thing. And I helped raise a little guy when my years in Hawaii. I still just keep in contact slightly on Facebook. I stalk them, but I was never, Lord never granted me the opportunity to have my own. So I have bonus kids.
You've had some situations.
Gary's 3
Yep.
bonus
Yep.
girls, and then the 2 I helped raise in past relationships.
And currently, as I'm sure most of you have seen, we do have 2 fur babies, Sophie and Spirit. And they are actually aging, getting up in age quite a bit. Spirit is 13 years old, and
Sophie's going on 10.
10. And Sophie's doing pretty good. She has she's missing some teeth, and
that's why her tongue hangs out all the time in the pictures.
but she's doing pretty good. She's overall a pretty healthy little girl. Spirit
This is Sophie.
is definitely becoming a senior dog and having some issues. A couple of winters ago, a couple springs ago, I should say, she was bounding through the snow and had she was chasing some other young dogs and had a problem with a hip issue and such. So she's had some injuries in the last couple of years that have slowed her down quite a bit. But we're working on some vet care for her right now, and she's getting better.
Big Family Expedition. They are crossovers from our other channel.
They are. Yep.
Hello. I know they're coming up this summer to Alaska in their RV.
It'd be great to meet you.
We're excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
I believe they're going to come to our rally. So Graysons, they say hello or hey. Big Family. Saw the pic of the sourdough bread earlier. Looks amazing.
Before we came up here into the studio, we cut into the sourdough bread, and it's pretty good. I mean, for the first success.
Loaf made.
There's
it's
still
a little
improvements.
Spongy and a little wet. I don't know how else to describe it.
Almost a little bit doughy, maybe a little bit more cooking time. I'm not positive, and that's it's
trial
and error with this. Every batch of sourdough is different. So
the crust came out beautiful.
It's
the
really
crunch
good.
is beautiful. The taste was
there.
Yeah,
the taste was
there. It was just a little wet or doughy, but not. It's still a total pass. Totally edible.
It's delicious.
Grayson says, "I'm new." Well, so are we, Grayson.
Right.
We have started pushing content on this channel just on Monday, and so we are.
There were a couple of videos hanging out prior to that for a month or so.
Yep, I put up some real time content. We have actually been on YouTube, and this is going. I'm going to just pop up their next question. What type of channel is this? We've been on YouTube for 8 years, mostly producing RVing content. We've RV'd all over the country, which led us here to Alaska for a couple summers RVing, and we fell in love with Alaska. We've always been in love with Alaska, but coming up here in our RV really got it to the point where we wanted to move here, especially during 2020 and everything that happened with that. So this channel is focusing on Alaska life content, and specifically right now, our videos, we are chronicling the past 3 years of videos that we made for our other channel that chronicled our build. So we bought raw land and we built our homestead up. We have a giant shop house. I tease it's 3/4 of shop and garage and 1/4 of living quarters.
I don't have a problem with that.
And somehow, I mean, we've already filled up the shop space.
Yeah, I can't park everything inside, but having a good shop space is nice.
This channel is to share our lives, our Alaska lives, and share Alaska with you.
Right, our adventures and what we do, and almost not quite day-to-day stuff, but kind of what we do every day.
A little bit.
You know, this and that.
With a mix of being ambassadors for the state, for visitors to come up, because that's just naturally what we have been doing. We also run a business called RVing to Alaska, where we educate visitors coming up in their RVs. So we've been ambassadors of Alaska for 7, 8 years.
Yeah. Yep.
And so you're going to see a really good mix of our home life as well as what you can do if you come up here as a visitor.
We do have a couple of RVs. We do have a 40-foot diesel pusher. We haven't used that up here much, but we do have also a slide-in truck camper, so we can put that on our Ram 3500 and go camping almost anywhere. And then we can also tow a trailer full of toys, whether it's snow machines or ATVs or whatever it is. and that'll get us further out into the wilderness and let us explore a bit more.
Yep. And in yesterday's video that we released, we showed the boat that we purchased 1 week after moving here.
Almost not an impulse purchase, but we knew we were going to buy a boat at some point, and it was a good deal at the time. And if we would have waited, it would have been gone, and the prices would have gone crazy.
Yeah.
It did go crazy.
Yep.
So
We probably didn't need to buy it then, but it was a good decision.
the price at the time was worth it.
All right, let's see. D is asking how Spirit is doing.
Well, she got we picked her up from the vet yesterday. She had obviously an ear infection because of the polyps in her ear, and the polyps don't allow, or the polyps kind of gather bacteria and don't allow proper drainage. So they had that removed. She does have what's called a adenoma in her rear end, and that was drained. And then
Sorry.
we're coming back in on Tuesday to have the adenoma on the rear end more removed, and hopefully the sore can be healed up, as well as a full dental work job on her, since she hasn't had a dental service for quite a while. So she's getting.
She has a mass.
Oh,
on
that's
her
right. The
armpit.
mass in her armpit will be removed. She's,
She grows extra things.
whenever anything gets old, whether it's humans, dogs, equipment, houses, whenever
break.
anything gets old, well, they break, and it just gets more expensive to maintain. So as we age, we get more expensive to maintain. As our dogs age, we get more expensive to maintain. So it's just one of those things. A senior dog is, we gotta keep her up. But I mean, mentally and physically and all that, she's doing very well, and she's not. It's not that time. You know what I mean?
No.
It's not. It really isn't. So we want to give her a life that she can really enjoy.
Yeah. If you look at our videos that we're putting out right now, you'll see that she's got a little tumor on her upper lip, and we had that removed shortly. It's almost coming to that time in YouTube land,
Right.
when we had that surgically removed. She just seems to grow little masses. None of them have turned out to be cancerous, which is great. It's just, I guess, with her body likes to grow these little things. So she's doing good, but we still need your prayers and thoughts. She goes in. Like
I think Tuesday it's a big deal. Tuesday
she'll go under and
full anesthesia on Tuesday. So it's a little bit more worrisome, but she'll come out of it.
Yep. And Dee says, hope she's recovering okay. For now, she is. Tuesday is going to be rougher when we bring her home. Nancy, hi.
Is this Nancy Tordai?
Yes.
Oh, hello.
Nancy's one of our followers from our RVing to Alaska channel and business. So
she probably recognizes the studio. She's been on some of our Monday Night Lives.
Yep. And we've camped with her in the past.
Absolutely have.
So, we're getting more questions. This is great.
Oh, good. We love the questions. Guys, don't hesitate. Please ask anything. We're here to just have a conversation with you tonight.
Sarah asks, have enjoyed seeing how you got to where you are today.
Good.
How's your knee?
Oh,
should we explain real quick what happened to your knee?
Several weeks ago, I was I had slipped on a piece of ice, and I heard the pop and all the pain associated with that. And long story short, MRI showed that I have a tear on my meniscus at the root of the meniscus, where it grows into my lower leg,
the tibia.
And those tears, there is a fix for them. It's basically they have to regraft the meniscus into the tibia. That involves boring out a portion of the bone and then basically suturing the meniscus into that area and allowing the bone to grow back. With that, it requires a 6-week period of non-weight bearing movement. That's really hard to do now. Any time of my life is hard to do. So I'm going through physical therapy to try and get to a point where it's not affecting me as much. I don't know if that's going to work.
We're not even 2 weeks from we're 2 weeks.
We're
2 weeks from injury today.
3 weeks.
No, 2.
Only 2?
Yes.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Only 2 weeks from
Yeah.
injury today, and you meet back with the surgeon
On Thursday.
on Thursday.
Yeah.
So between Spirit and Gary,
Shoot.
we're busy.
Yeah. So I mean, the knee it's not comfortable. Walking every step there's pain. And when it snows, I can't just let it sit on the ground. I have to take care of it. So there's been a lot of movement, a lot of usage. So I'm probably not allowing it to heal properly.
No.
The PT,
He doesn't know how to sit and do nothing.
physical therapy is happening. I'm trying to do like at least I'm doing 2 physical therapy appointments a week, but also 2 days a week. I'm supposed to be doing exercises at home. I skipped yesterday because my Thursday session was pretty hard on me.
So
So
maybe after this,
yeah.
you got to go
Get back into
do
it.
your exercises.
But I really do want to try to make therapy work. I hope it can. I've talked to people that said, yeah, I've had success, but had to go in for surgery a couple years later. So we'll see what happens.
We will see. D says, if you break the bread before the first hour, it will be gummy. Gummy is a good word. However,
It was a couple hours.
I think
It
we
came out about 12:30.
Yeah, and we cut into it right
About
before
4:30.
this.
So it was
No,
3:30.
3:30.
So it was
It's that on the counter
like
for
3 hours. Yeah.
So,
And that is something that we had read about as well. Can't cut into it right away because
Yep.
it's not technically finished cooking.
all right.
It's a learning experience. This sourdough thing, your starter is basically gonna. Every starter is different, and
Yeah.
there's no rhyme or reason, or there's no one way to do it. So
And
it's
my
figuring it out.
starter was a gift that's like over 130 years old. So
Right.
And the one that's doing really well, I have 2 starters on the counter right now that I've been counter feeding. They came out of the fridge, and one has been in the fridge since 2022, and the other one was given to me in the fall of 23. So the 2022 one is actually doing better when I go and feed it and look at the peak of it a couple hours later. It's so cool looking.
It's very active.
Once I get this down and understand what I'm doing, I'm going to do a video on it. But I did not want to film this on the first try. I can fake it till I make it, but I'd really like to make sure I understand what I'm doing.
Today's loaf was actually the 3rd loaf you've baked.
Well, I did 2 last week that I knew they were a failure from the very get-go.
They didn't rise.
I messed up in the very beginning steps, but I still went through the process to see what happened. And that was my learning curve on my crust, especially with our ovens. I was using our steam oven, which it is a fairly complicated appliance. It's a very high-end. It's a Thermador Pro series, and it's beyond my pay grade.
And it's kind of a new appliance, so there's not a whole bunch of information about how to use a steam oven at home. I mean, there's commercial steam ovens have been around for quite a while, but there's not like how to use on home stuff much. So we're still trying to figure that one out. Hey, it reheats pizza nicely. It steams vegetables really good.
And I will just make this disclaimer. A lot of people that have been following us over the years know this, but Gary is the cook in the family. I am horrible in the kitchen. However, my dad as a kid, he used to love to bake. And when I moved up here, actually, when we moved into the river house, at some point, my mom's like, hey, I have your dad's bread bowl. Do you want it? And I'm like, absolutely. So I've had this bread bowl is probably older than I am.
More than likely.
And I'll say it here. I'm 50 years old. So this bread bowl is from early 70s. It's called, I was looking on the bottom, it says ovenware, but my heart every time I'm mixing the bread in it, and I think of my dad, and I remember the loaves he used to make. He was a wonderful baker. Yeah. So that's the one thing I feel comfortable in the kitchen. Comfortable is not the word.
No, you don't. No, there's no comfort with you in the kitchen.
No, I freak out. In fact, when I first started the sourdough journey about a week ago, I had an anxiety attack.
You
And I
did.
freaked out
Yeah.
because Gary was questioning me what I was doing. And I'm very much follow the recipe to a T type person, especially with baking. You have to do that. But
But you're learning now with sourdough, there's a little bit of wiggle.
there is a little bit of wiggle.
Yeah.
And if you
Yeah.
watch YouTube in university, there's 50 million different
There's-
opinions on
yep.
what to do.
You can cook it at 450, you can cook it at 500, you can cook it with lid off or lid on.
So I'm learning, but my process is I'm using my steam oven for the first 20 minutes, and then I take the lid off. I'm doing it in a
It's an enameled cast iron.
and then
stock
I
pot.
take the lid off
Yeah.
for it to brown up, and it worked today. So I
Right.
mean, I still have time to perfect it,
Mhm.
but anyways,
It's something fun to do. And then soon we're gonna we'll get into that one later.
I don't even know where you're
You
going.
don't even know
but
where I'm
that's
going.
okay.
Yep,
Hi,
yep.
Linda. Linda is also one of our RVers
From North Carolina.
Yeah. Okay, we are going on to Marty. Hello, guys from Port Townsend.
Port Townsend.
Hello,
I've got
fellow
some family in Port
Washingtonian.
Townsend. There's
No, they're a little south of
cousins.
Port.
Yeah, a little south of Port Townsend. Yes, nice area, beautiful area.
I've
Love it.
spent a lot of time in Port
Mm-hmm.
Townsend, and the last time we were there, I believe didn't we go with my cousin on her cutwater
Yeah, we
from
Port Townsend
Port
down to
Angeles?
down to
No,
it
did we go
wasn't
to
Port Angeles.
No, we didn't go to Port Townsend, but we have been. To
We've
Port
been there.
Townsend. We've taken the RV through
Yeah.
there. It's beautiful. I used to go.
Well, isn't
over,
that where we took the RV onto the ferry up
Yeah.
to
across,
across the
across
Puget Sound
Puget Sound over to
to
Whidbey Island?
Yes, yes,
Beautiful area.
absolutely.
Uh,
Washington is home for both of us.
It
really,
is. We're from the east side of Washington on the Idaho border, and
the
we
right
always,
side,
the right side of
Spokane.
Washington, just outside of Spokane, and we always say Washington's a great place to be from.
It is an amazing place to be from. Yes.
So.
But we also both grew up on boats, boating in Puget Sound, and you actually spent quite a bit of time with your grandparents boating through Southeast Alaska.
Yep, I've been all
Um,
over
so-
the San Juans, the Sunshine Islands,
Mhm.
and then all over Southeast.
Yep. So we've spent quite a bit of time on the water as young kids, and that has transferred into our love of the water and
Well,
the sea now
And you spent time with your grandparents
yeah,
on their boat.
on in the Puget Sound.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
yes.
they kept their boat farther down by Tacoma, right?
Well, they at one point were in Tacoma, but Des Moines area as well, and then also up into La Conner and
Oh,
and
that's
those,
right.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
my grandparents,
Shelter Island, Shelter Bay Yacht Club, and such.
yeah, my grandparents kept their boat in Anacortes at
Right.
Hidalgo Bay.
Most of their time was up in the Shelter Bay Yacht Club or Shelter Island or whatever it's called up there, La Conner area.
Yep, Connor.
Nothing. I love La Conner. It's beautiful.
Been
Nice
through
little
it
town.
many times.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Both by road,
Road and boat. Mhm.
Yep. Marty says praying. I am assuming that's
About the
for
doggies?
either Gary or the dogs.
Thanks for praying for the dogs. I appreciate that.
Dee says, okay, thanks for letting us know. Absolutely true about senior dogs. Prayers
Yes.
on the way.
Thank you very much.
And Linda says the sourdough bread looked delicious.
It
Thank
was.
you. I'm pretty excited
Mhm.
about it. Amy asks, how do you like Alaska? It's everything. I mean, we were already in love with it.
Yeah, we had RV'd up here for 2 summers in 2017 and 2019. We spent well over 3 months each year up here traveling the state in the motorhome and fell in love with it then.
And then in 2020, when we made the decision, it was December. It was 2 days before
Mhm.
Christmas. We went over to North Idaho to have the dogs groomed. And I'm going to just say it. They were living normal lives
Mhm.
over there, more so than in Washington.
Yep.
And we're driving home and we're like, geez, where do we go? And we thought about Idaho, but it was too close to home. No
Yeah,
offense.
It was.
And I was like, Gary, where do our hearts belong? What do we love? And without even saying Alaska, he looked at me and he said,
Can you do a winter? Can you do a winter in Alaska?
and previously in 2017, when we came home from Alaska,
Mhm.
our first summer spending up
in
here,
December.
We got our first snowfall
Yeah.
in Washington, and I had
Oh,
a
she went
freak out
grumpy. She went
session.
grumpy.
And so we decided we had a cruise planned that for our anniversary. And as soon as we got home from our cruise, we were going to head south and winter in the desert.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we did. And I previously to us getting together and getting married lived in Hawaii, and that pretty much ruined me for winter activities,
Mm-hmm.
being in winter.
I could see that. Yeah.
And I was just done with it. And I moved back from Hawaii in 2010,
10.
late 2010. And so he looked at me and says, "Can you do a winter?" And I'm like, "I think so. It will be better than what we were living with
Right.
in all the restrictions and this and that."
The crazy thing is with all this is before we had decided where to move, we had already listed our house for sale.
Yeah, we didn't know
So
where
we didn't know where we're
Well,
going.
we thought we were going to go full time on a boat at that point,
Yep.
or build at a lake property that we had
in
just
Central Washington.
purchased in
Yeah.
Central Washington. But to answer your questions, yes, we love Alaska. I have embraced winters. I have my days where I'm grumpy when it's really cold.
Well, when it does snow 12 inches overnight, it's a little.
But we get out and get active.
You gotta
and
do it.
that's what you have to
Okay.
do to really love it here. So we get out and go snow machining, and
Mhm.
we go on dates. We go out to dinner. We go to events.
Yeah.
We
You
go
just
out.
Gotta go out and do.
You see your friends mostly
Yeah.
in the wintertime,
Yeah.
because in the summer, everyone's busy doing summer things.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, Alaska, it's no regrets that we made this move. Yes, we miss our friends and family.
Yep.
We're going to address that in tomorrow's video.
Sure.
But yeah,
You know,
absolutely love
Alaska is in the summertime when all the tourists come up and everybody's doing everything. Alaska's just beautiful in the summertime. The greens of the foliage, and then fall comes and you get the colors of the changing leaves and such. Oranges and reds come into the mountains. It's beautiful.
But then winter comes,
hits, and it's a whole different story.
Gary-
The leaves fall off the trees, the mountains become snow covered, and we get a couple days of this hoar frost or something comes in, and the trees are just covered in frost. It's magical. It truly is just magical. You can walk outside at night on a moonlit night, and it's almost as bright as daytime because the moon's so bright, reflecting off of all the snow. It's something else. And then you get aurora above your head.
That's the magical
wow.
part.
It's
Yeah,
just magical.
all
It
of
is.
it.
Wintertime is magical.
Today was weird though. It was almost 40. No, it hit 40 degrees today.
40.1 or something.
And I went out to the chicken coop in my I had a non-sleeve shirt and shorts. And I was perfectly fine.
40 is really warm. Well, just a week ago, we were at 35 below zero. So
That's crazy.
now think about that. A week ago, 35 below zero, and today was 40. That is 85 degrees different
Crazy.
in a week.
All right.
What?
Nancy says she's looking forward to seeing us this year. And
Oh.
as we
She's coming back up.
we are too. Yep.
Nice.
Yep. Okay, moving on. D, okay then. It's just practice and time. Been making it for 4 years. First year,
Yep.
be patient with yourself. I
Oh, yeah.
was, and now it's gold. And D, I really appreciate the comments you've been leaving me, and there's been some great tips in that, so I
Oh,
appreciate it.
good. That's great.
All right, and she says, "Good."
Cool. Good.
Okay, we got someone new here. KT, I'm new to your
Hi, KT.
channel and wanted to move the family up to Alaska.
What's holding you back?
One thing I recommend, do come up if you haven't already, and come up in all 4 seasons, or
Yeah.
really 2 seasons,
Right. Non-snow season and snow season.
pretty much.
Yeah.
But come up, enjoy, do some activities.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we were fairly confident that we could deal with the winters, but we still, when we started this process of moving, we made the decision on December 23rd.
Mm-hmm.
We flew up on January 18th, found our land, and it was purchased by the end of January. And then we flew up again in February, March, took the ferry up in April. So we got to see Alaska every month of that winter just so we had an idea of
Of what to expect.
we were doing.
Yeah.
I will say that housing here is very expensive. Building is astronomical.
Well, housing is expensive and very limited. I mean, we do have a housing shortage.
Very much so.
And that's what drives the prices up.
I would say there's definitely a lot of jobs available.
There
I
are.
don't think there's enough people up here
Correct.
willing to work or willing to work hard. But again, cost of living expenses are more expensive up here than most places.
Yep.
I don't know where you are from, but like for us in Washington, it kind of washed out because we were taxed so heavily in Washington, but property tax up here is pretty expensive. But really, that's the only thing you're taxed on.
Some of the municipalities have the authority to charge their own local taxes,
But they're small.
But they're small taxes, and
Like
they have a
2%.
cap at 2%, and they have a cap at like
$15
$15 or something like that. So you go buy a new car, and your tax is only $15.
Yeah, and
if you're in those towns.
Our tabs are kind of nice. The tabs are good for 2 years, meaning your license registration.
Yeah.
They're good for 2 years, and any vehicle that's 8 years or older.
7.
Well, you have to get through the whole seventh year.
Yeah, your 8th year.
So 8th year and on, you can get a Z tag, and you never have to register it again.
Right.
So
Most trailers
they're
are
Z tags.
Z tags or lifetime registration.
Toys are usually 6 years.
ATVs and snow machines,
So-
and it's not even really required to license them.
No,
The only really need to license ATVs and snow machines is if you're going to use it in a state park
state park or on roads.
or on roads.
So
Yeah.
but yeah,
So the licensing stuff is
you have to do your homework. There's no income tax here,
Mhm.
which is great. There's always chatter that they want to add that, but I don't see it passing in a public vote. But
No.
who knows? Also, Alaska does pay us to live here. It's not a lot. It's dependent on what's going on with the oil
production,
production
reserves.
up north. And it's strictly regulated. It's like we can't snowbird. We have to be in state at least 6 months and 1 day.
It's strictly regulated for the citizens, but the government, for some reason, has their hands in it a little too much.
Yeah. So the 1 year, our first year here, we couldn't claim it because you have to live here for a full calendar year from January
January.
1 to December 31st. And because we moved up mid-year, we could not apply for a PFD until last year, 2023,
yeah.
even though we moved here in 2021, because 2022 was our full calendar year of being here. In 2022, which paid out from 2021, they got the highest payout ever. $3,200 and some change.
So that's $3,200 per person living in your household to include every child. So if you have a family of 5, that's I can't do the math real quick, but that's $3,200 for 5 people.
And then, like last year, the PFD was only $1,100 per resident.
No, wasn't it 13
or 13?
15?
No, it was not 15.
13. Yeah,
It
13.
was
13.
11 or 13.
Yeah.
It was 26, so 13.
Mhm.
$1,300. And when we got that, it just went straight to heating fuel.
Right, and we just did that again.
Yep. So that's just some things about living up here. You really need to do your homework. Alaska will spit you out just as easily as it will accept you.
Right. If you don't take advantage of Alaska, and enjoy it, you will not enjoy it. I mean, you have to get out there and really have fun. You have to really go out and do it.
Outdoorsy type
stuff.
person, self-sufficient, being able to kind of
do it yourself.
Yeah.
Grow
a garden, have chickens.
I mean, it's not necessary, but it's nice to be able to do those
helps.
things. And if you have any other questions, KT, please either ask them here or in an email form, however you would like to contact us. We'd love to help you out.
Dee says, I call it my happy place doing this.
Oh, when she does her sourdough?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's good.
I get it.
Yeah.
April.
Who's this?
It's April.
April. Hi, April.
Guess what, April? Tomorrow you're going to be a star in our video.
Oh, that's a fun video, guys. I know what we're doing.
So April and her husband, Brad,
Brad.
were our first visitors since moving up here.
Oh, I hear Rusty outside going crazy.
Rusty's saying hi to April. But yeah, we went and did some touristy things
Mhm.
and took them along. So that's kind of thanks, guys, for jumping on.
Yeah, thank you.
Everyone will get to see you and Brad tomorrow.
That's
In
awesome.
fact, tomorrow's video is going to be uploaded a little early just due to the big game tomorrow.
Oh, that's right. It's a big game
So
tomorrow. Super
it's going to
Bowl.
go live at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 Eastern, because I believe the game starts around 3:30 Eastern. So hopefully people hit it before the pre-game.
It's 2:00 here. Is when it starts. I don't know when it starts. I haven't even looked
It
yet.
starts, yes, but on the East,
2, 3, 4, 5.
I don't know. Our video goes live at 8 a.m. Alaska time
We know that for sure.
because I have to get up and watch it with you all. Okay. What April's asking, when is salmon season? I need to come fishing.
Yes, you do. Let's come on. I'd love to see you up with us in end of July and August.
Salmon season, April, is June, July, August. At some point, we can take you somewhere and catch salmon. So basically in the summer.
Well, I'd like to go more silvers and not pinks. I'd like to get more end of end of June, July, August.
Yeah, but that's also rally time.
Oh well, let's go fishing.
Oh.
Let's go fishing.
Moving on. April, we can't wait for you guys to come back.
Please come on up anytime,
We love
all the
and miss
time,
you.
weeks at a time.
KT, what is your story? Do you own a business? How can you afford building such a beautiful place? Could help us figure out some of the wanting to move to Alaska. Okay.
How much of that do you want to get
Well,
into right now? I mean,
I can just briefly do it. Do
Okay.
we own a business? Yes.
yes.
But it is by all sense and purposes
Hobby.
a hobby business.
Mhm.
I help and educate RVers coming up to Alaska by RV independently on their own.
Oh, that's the other channel that we have
Yep.
called RVing to Alaska.
Yep, that's our other YouTube channel.
Mhm.
We're also very big on Facebook. The
Yep.
business mostly runs on Facebook, and we run a group and we just help educate and let people know what it's like coming up here in their own travel trailer, motorhome, fifth wheel, etc.
Right.
But
But that doesn't pay the day to day. That
It
doesn't
does
that
not.
barely covers its own.
We've never paid ourselves from that.
No.
Um,
Like it's a hobby.
It's a hobby
Yeah.
business. What is our story? We are retired young, and that story comes from I guess we'll maybe do a video on it at some point.
But
We
just-
have it on our other channel where we do
That whole fireside
campfire
chat. Yeah.
talk. My father passed away in 2010 and left. I was an only child. So I basically was left his estate, and his parents preceded him in death. His father passed away 2 years later, and then his mother another 2 years after her husband, my grandfather. And between the three of them, they will say that I was very loved
Very much so.
and very blessed,
Mhm.
and they made it where we were financially capable of living comfortably without having to work again. Now, having that status hit us in the late 30s, you can't tell someone to just, I mean, yes, we quit our jobs.
How do you stop working?
How do you stop
How do you
working?
stop
So you
doing that
find
day-to-day
ways
stuff?
of
Yeah.
keeping yourself busy. So we went on the road full-time RVing and traveling all over the country. And within doing that, that's when friends encouraged us to start a YouTube channel to share our adventures. I mean, we've done some amazing things. We've helped crew hot air balloon rides. We've gone to the Miami Boat Show.
We've been
done the
in a movie.
We've been in a movie, a
produced the movie.
documentary.
Mhm.
We've done a lot of things from the time that
Right.
my dad passed away and my grandparents, and they left me their estates. And then, so quickly moving on, how can we afford all this beautiful place? If you see our very first video that we released on Monday, we built a very beautiful home. So one of the things
in Washington, in Spokane,
in Washington,
in 2015, 16.
my dad bequeathed me his home and property, which was also my childhood home. It's where I grew up from ninth grade on.
Mm-hmm.
My dad and I lived there. My parents separated when I was in fifth grade, and my dad raised me from that point on. So my mom truly is my best friend. Uh, we have a different relationship because she didn't have to raise me.
And she's watching right now.
But basically, when dad left me his house, that's right after or right before Gary and I started dating. Gary and I have known each other since high school, since ninth grade when my dad and I moved into the neighborhood. And so when I took over his property, we started full-time RVing and traveling the country, and we're like, well, where do we want to call home? And at that point, we had not been to Alaska, and nowhere else in the lower 48 really called to us. So we came home, tore down Dad's house.
Well, the house had been there since the
1950s,
early
the 50s rancher.
Right.
Beautiful property on the Spokane River.
Was a beautiful property, and the house was coming up on some major maintenance items. We're talking roof. There are some foundation cracks and leaks, and we were trying to weigh out, wow, the expense of all these repairs versus tearing it down and building a dream home. And we took the dream home route.
Yep.
And it was half the price to tear the house down versus replacing the roof. So, I mean, it just made sense.
And we lived on property in our RV similarly like we did here, and watched and managed the house build. And so the house that you see us selling at the beginning of this video series is the house that Gary and I built. We had a great builder that did the design, and then we oversaw everything from there.
He was there a lot working on the house to himself. So it was good. It was good.
So when we went to and put it on the market, as you can imagine, it's riverfront property. It's a gorgeous home. And at the time, Spokane was one of the hottest real estate
if not the
markets
hottest at the time
in the country.
December 2021, Spokane was number one for real estate in the country, and we fully took advantage of that.
Yeah. And so we sold, the buyer found us right around Christmas of 2020. I mean, literally, like, the buyer found us 4 days after we made the decision to move to Alaska. So it's like someone up above was helping and making sure our plan worked out. So we sold the house, and that is what financed our move. It financed this house mostly, and where we are today. Again, we would not be here without my family and them thinking ahead and estate planning. And we know that every day, and we feel blessed. And so even though we're retired young, we still choose to work some way, somehow, even if we're not paying ourselves.
So if you guys come up here in the summertime or wintertime, however it may be, you might be able to join a guided ATV or snow machine tour to one of the glaciers locally here, and I may be your guide.
Yeah, Gary's working.
I'm working as a tour guide for Alaska Backcountry Tours. Well, not right now because I'm on
his knee.
I'm on medical leave because my knee. But you know, that is the when you don't necessarily need an income to survive, and you can find these kind of jobs that you love, that you want to do, it really makes it worthwhile. And I love running snow machines. I love running ATVs and such. So being able to run a snow machine or ATV and educate all of the guests on Alaska and why I love it so much really fills my heart. I just love to show off what we have, why we are, and it's great, you know, and it just makes it so worthwhile.
And that's what I do on my RVing to Alaska business is I help people make their dreams come true and come up here for a bucket list summer of RVing around in this gorgeous state of Alaska that I now call home.
Oh my gosh, there's so much here. I mean, there's so much here. And we've only hit the tip of the iceberg
right?
with what there is to do in Alaska. Oh my.
Big family expedition. My kids and husband, LOL, would be screaming in excitement if that much snow fell overnight.
Oh
I'd
yeah.
stay inside and look at it. And that's what I do. Outside is Gary's department, and I stay inside.
I give her crap because we get a foot of snow overnight and she's just grumpy as heck. It's like, well, what do you
It
do?
takes me a while.
Why do you get so grumpy? You sit inside and you're working on your computer in the office. I gotta manage the snow. With a Ranger that's broken down, not working, I got to use my wheeler and plow and the snow blower and
I always tease. He's like my yard guy and my boat driver and my plow guy, and he does a
I'm
good
not the
job.
I'm not the pool boy anymore.
Well, no pool.
Oh, I can. I know. I'm your spa.
You were the pond.
I'm your spa guy.
You spa. Yeah,
I got
you
the.
take
We got
care
the
of
hot tub.
Rachel, our classmate, says cannot wait for our trip up there in late June, early July.
Oh yeah, we're looking forward to seeing you, Rachel.
Yep, they're gonna actually
gonna
stay
stay
with
here.
us for a
Yeah.
couple days. What's the weather like then? Mosquitoes.
Yep.
Also, if you have a tip for reservations to clear skies around Denali, please put them in.
Clear skies are most often seen in the wintertime.
When you're coming, late June, early July is still pretty good for
Right.
summer
It's kind of
conditions.
before the rainy season really starts.
Yeah, the rainy season usually starts mid-July. There's no way I can predict when Denali will be showing. There is a 30% club for a reason.
Yep.
Only 30% of all visitors that come to Alaska
In the
will
summertime.
see Denali in its full glory.
Right.
So we will try. The nice thing is from our house, it's a 2-minute drive to see if she's peeking out.
Oh yeah.
And if the mountain's out, then we'll
Then we
drive up
know where
to
to go.
Willow and show you.
No, we'll go up to Talkeetna to the river edge
Or Talkeetna.
and have a good time.
All right, moving
Mhm.
next.
This is great. I love that. I hope you guys are enjoying this interaction. This is really kind of fun.
It's different from
it's a
our
little different.
podcast.
Our other podcast we do is kind of a structured thing that we have stuff to talk about. This is kind of fun where we're just answering questions and going free form. So
Here's a
if
funny
you guys
one.
are enjoying it, we are too.
Here's a funny one. Lori asks, "How big of a garden do we have?"
We have two 3 foot by 10
No, they're
foot,
10 feet.
3 foot by 10 foot raised beds.
Raised beds. I do want a garden. It is in the future.
We will have it. We have an area planned out for the garden. It's about probably 40 by 60. And we do have I'm not sure if it's going to happen this spring or not, but we do need to get a greenhouse as well to extend our gardening opportunities.
Last summer, last spring, we were going to do a garden and a greenhouse.
But
But
somebody wanted chickens.
on my birthday, somebody told me I could finally have chickens. That
Well,
was his
that was
birthday
because you were.
present
I
to
think you had
me.
already bought them before. I said,
No,
okay.
No, the day you told me that, okay, I know what I'm getting you for your birthday. And I was like, what? We were sitting in the hot tub. He goes, I'm going to let you have chickens. Because I've been asking since the moment we moved here.
Well, we had gotten to a point on our property to where day-to-day maintenance and such was manageable, and adding the required duties of a chicken coop wasn't too much. However, building the chicken coop.
It took almost all summer last year.
So I decided to have carpal tunnel surgery in March.
No, you had it in
April.
April 18th.
I have been suffering from carpal tunnel syndrome for like 18 years. And snow machining last winter was very difficult for me because both my hands would just fall asleep literally on the grips. And I couldn't tell if they were warm or cold. Quite often I'd have to touch my face or somebody else's face. Are my fingers cold? And the pain associated with that was just unbearable. So at the end of last snow machine season, March, April, I decided to go in for evaluation for carpal tunnel surgery.
You started it at the end of March.
And had that surgery in April 18th. And then I think it was April 22nd or so, I decided to start building a chicken coop.
Thank you. So yeah, the day he told me he wanted to build me a chicken coop, I ordered my chickens, but here you pre-order them. I didn't do it from I didn't know anybody with baby chicks. So I ordered it from a greenhouse here in town. They weren't going to be available until the beginning of May.
Oh, that's right. We built the brooder first. Actually,
Yep.
I guided you through.
I built it because you couldn't do it.
I
'cause your
couldn't do it. My
hands-
hands were so messed up. So I guided her through building the brooder, and that's where they resided for a while
10 weeks.
while I was
Yeah.
working on the coop.
I had 16 chickens in a 3-by-4-foot box till 10 weeks of age, and at that point, we were going to a music festival, and they needed to go out into their coop.
Chicken stock.
So he got it built, and so the chicken coop took preference, and so maybe this year a garden.
So my surgeon, when I went in for checkups and all that, he's like, "Well, why aren't you healing very fast?"
Tumba. I don't know what tumba.
I said, "I'm building a chicken coop." He goes, "Well, when did you start the chicken coop?" I said, "Well, like 2 days after surgery." He's like, "Yeah." So all you're doing is delaying your healing process. The more you work, the more you delay your healing. It's not going to injure it further, but
it
yeah,
made your healing time
made
twice.
my healing time twice as long. It's not longer, but I had to get the chicken coop done because she bought chickens.
Because you said I could.
Okay.
Linda says we love the San Juans. Yes.
Oh, the San Juans are beautiful. Yes, they are. Love it.
Greg says 6:30, so that must be when the football game starts tomorrow, Eastern.
Oh, okay, great. Yep. That works here. That's 2:30. Yeah.
Give thumbs up, everyone. Thank you, KT. Yes, if you like this video, please hit the thumbs up button.
Right.
That will let YouTube know that you're enjoying this content, and we'll push it out to other people after we're done. Yep. And Greg says for the big game. Thank you.
Nice. I hope you guys are enjoying a beverage with us too. I mean, it wouldn't be appropriate to have
All right. Should we
have a chat without a beverage.
April says she's coming fishing.
Oh, good. Yep. Hey, sorry, Brad, but April can come up by herself if she needs to. But we'd love to have Brad up here too. Come on up, both of you guys.
Carol Hirsch says good evening with Rose.
Hello, Carol.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Dee says, thank you for being so honest. Have a good evening. Happy for both. Hope you get your knee fixed and recover as well.
I'm working on it. We are, people say transparency and such or whatever. It's just,
What do we,
there's nothing to hide. This is what we are. This is who we are. And we just want to enjoy our life, and we want to share it with you as much as we can.
It's a question we get
all the time.
And it's understandable.
We're used to it now.
Even when we came home from our first summer in Alaska, the border agent coming into the U.S. did not believe me when I said he flat out said, "How can you afford to spend the summer in Alaska?" And I'm like,
I really wanted to say none of your business, but I couldn't.
So sometimes when people are rude, I'll if you see sometimes in comments, I can be a little snarky right back, and I don't like to, but I've gotten to the point, I've done this YouTube gig for 8 years. I know how the trolls work.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't let them bother me anymore. And now I just kind of have fun with them. But same thing when I get that question, when it's not nicely asked, I guess. And like the border agent, I really wanted to just say my family was dead.
I lost all my family. That's what
sometimes happened. I say that when I'm just like, that was really uncalled for. But other people, when they ask, and like the person that asked here, I can't hide it. It's obvious. We have very nice things, and we
live a very comfortable lifestyle.
We both have gone through the periods of time digging through couches, looking for change so I could buy a dozen eggs, and I would eat egg sandwiches for a week.
Yep.
We've all been there. And it's just, I was very blessed to have a family that loved me. Some say I'm spoiled. Well, you know what? You don't know me personally. And that is just...
And that's it, too. To know us personally is something different than to know us through this platform here. And from what our friends say, knowing us personally, how do I say this? But,
we have big hearts.
Big hearts, but we're just down to earth, honest people.
What you see on the screen is what we are in person.
Yep.
I'll be honest, I'm a little more introverted.
Yep.
When we did that movie project, we got burned pretty hard. And I went through a severe depression, and with that depression, I went into an introverted stage.
Yep.
So even now,
You're getting better. You're
I'm
getting
getting
better,
better, but even we
yeah.
hold an annual rally every summer for our RVers, and I'm nervous at those. I hole up a little bit more and go hide in my RV a little bit.
And I'm out there jumping campfire to campfire, having a good time with y'all.
So, I'm a little quieter. He's a little more social. However, 100% what you see online is me. So I'm very social online,
Yeah,
almost to the point of too much.
that's
but
because I'm making everything work.
You are. You are behind. You make everything work behind the scenes. So I appreciate that. So,
It works out well together, guys. We do love this.
Lori asks, "Do you do a lot of canning?" I am learning. We are learning
Yep.
together. We have the proper canning equipment,
mhm.
and we experiment. We've canned moose stew, moose chili,
Salmon,
salmon.
different soups.
We've been canning some
Yep.
soups. I'm learning.
hmm
I never lived this type of lifestyle previously in the lower 48. Like I said, I can barely make macaroni and cheese.
She has burned water in the past.
And I am so thankful I have Gary. I know someone was asked, I think it was Sarah earlier, saying, could I do Alaska as a single person? I don't know if it was Sarah. Someone was asking me, can I do Alaska as a single woman? And I think that would be really hard. I know there's tons of women that do it solo, but I know, matter of fact, hands down, there's no way I could do Alaska solo. If
90%
I
of the
lose
reason
this one, I've got to go south.
90% of the reason why I am holding off on surgery as long as I can is because I know she can't deal with it.
Well, don't blame that on me.
I am, and it's going to be pressure on you now. But
Oh,
because I know it takes two to run a house like this, it does take two. And she does.
I did it when you blew out your knee the first time.
But
And the good
that was
thing
different.
is we have amazing neighbors here.
Yeah, having neighbors. Oh, this community that we live in. We're in Houston, Alaska. We're a half hour or so outside of Wasilla. This is your good old boy community neighborhood. We know everybody down the street, and anytime we see each other, waving hands and stop and roll down the windows and chat, down the road, and anybody will do anything to help their neighbors out.
If the world goes, you know what? We will be very well taken care of with our neighbors. Everyone shares, like I'd be sharing my eggs. A couple other neighbors have gardens. Other neighbors
Raising
have
animals,
livestock.
Yep.
We all come together. We do barbecues together. We celebrate the holidays together. It's something you haven't probably seen in the lower 48 in cities for years.
It's not your suburban neighborhood of a big
No.
town. This is a really tight knit neighborhood that we just love and adore.
Rachel says you're good people because you're from Washington.
Hey, thanks, Rachel. Washington is a great place to be from. Sure is.
It's fun. We've known Rachel since we were in 9th grade.
Yep.
So sweetheart.
Absolutely.
Leanne says, I'm sorry for the silly questions, but have you guys made moose jerky? We've had moose jerky.
Actually, we have some moose jerky in the refrigerator right now.
That was gifted to us
from our neighbor right next door.
But we have processed moose. We've helped. That will be coming up in a video not too far off in the distance.
So we have some moose summer sausage. We have some Munich brat. We have some kielbasa. We have snack sticks. We have ground moose. So
stew meat.
Yep, stew meat, jerky meat.
Roasts.
We haven't made jerky, but we got jerky meat.
If moose is in the freezer, we prefer to eat that over ground beef.
Absolutely. 100% natural, and it may be more lean than a beef would be, but it is a really, really great, amazing protein source, and does not taste much different than a cow.
It's not gamey at all.
No.
Stephanie says, loving both your YouTube channels well as the Facebook group. Looking forward to our 2025 Great Alaskan Adventure.
Oh, good. Looking forward to seeing you.
Thank you.
In a year.
Yeah, the new Facebook page, or YouTube. The new channel, where we are at today.
Boom.
took me, well, probably over 2 years
Mhm.
to get to that point on our old channel. It's strange if you box yourself into such a small niche. YouTube, once you're in that niche, it will
It just
not let
draws you
you
in there.
out
Yeah.
of that audience. It just pinpoints you. So our other channel was basically just RVers, and then just RVers that wanted info on Alaska.
Mhm.
So for example, the video that just went out today, I had to edit out a portion where on RVing to Alaska, and now keep in mind that video went out, I think in the winter of 2022 is when I got things started rolling over there.
Mhm.
And we hit our 10,000th subscriber in that video. Now
On RVing to
on
Alaska.
RVing to
Right.
Alaska. Now, as of today on RVing to Alaska, we are just about to roll over 11,000 subscribers.
So
That's
that's 2 years.
2 years. We've only
1,000.
had 1,000 subscriber growth.
So very, very, very small, slow growth.
Focus pinpointed.
Mhm.
YouTube never pushed. Now, in this week alone, since Monday, that's 6 days ago, we have gained over 2,000 subscribers, or almost.
Almost
We're
2,000.
almost to
We're
2,000
18 and
subscribers.
18 and change, right? 19.
But yeah,
So the growth with this new channel has been
astronomical, mind blowing.
huge, amazing, awesome. Thank you
Yes.
very much for subscribing and helping with this.
We're at 1857.
So in 6
And
days.
I think on Sunday we were around 400 subscribers.
Right.
So it's been amazing.
Mhm.
I've been on cloud nine. I've never seen this.
She has totally been on cloud nine. It's been kind of
I've never
awesome
seen
to
this
see.
growth, and
Yeah.
we couldn't do it without you guys.
Yeah.
So thank you.
love to have all this interaction, and use the resources that we have made available to you, i.e. Facebook and this live and other emails and such, and ask us questions and interact with us. We will
Yep.
be there for you. If you want to see something specific,
on
let us know.
on Living Free Alaska's Facebook page, I am posting real time updates,
Mhm.
content, what's going on, like what's going on with Spirit. I'm also using the community tab more on the YouTube page, which is on our profile of YouTube. You go in there and it says community, but truly Facebook, that's where you're going to get the everyday, a couple posts, what we got going on until we get caught up. In all, there's like over 30 or 40 videos to transfer over to get you up to real time.
So that'll go through February
Yep.
for a day-to-day video.
Yep, I'm trying to do at least one a day. I
Mhm.
thought I'd be maybe able to do two, and
No, we're not
it
doing 2 a day.
takes time.
Mhm.
Just one video, when I do it from raw, like from start to finish,
Making a new video.
making a new video is usually 10 to 12 hours of edit time working, and that's what the end product that you're seeing. And these re-edits to prepare for Living Free Alaska are still averaging 2 to 3 hours per video to do all the edits, then download, then re-upload into YouTube, make new thumbnails, do all the metadata in the background.
Right.
So it's going to be one video a day for the next several weeks. And then once we get all caught up,
Right.
then we will start vlogging again in real time, where we're at.
And it'll be more like once a week. We'll put
Yes.
together a
I
quality,
need a
quality
full week.
video. Yeah.
Because I'll be honest, my business is I won't
You're
say I've been.
You're ramping up on RVing Alaska.
I'm ramping up. My rally goes live for ticket sales on at the beginning of March, and
Mhm.
so I've been kind of putting it on the afterburner, trying to
Yep.
get this going, and it's paying off. But I can only do so much.
Right.
Again, I'm the editor. I'm the narrator.
I'm just the goofball behind the camera, on the other side of the camera, in
and
front
I
of the camera. I'm
appreciate
sorry.
it. I appreciate it.
And as this progresses, our video and filming techniques will improve, and different apparatuses and such will be involved.
Yep.
If we need to, but there's one video where I'm explaining how difficult it really is at 20 below to film yourself doing something outside.
Because the hand freezes.
Because the hand gets really cold when the hand's without a glove. So it's kind of funny. We're trying to make this work for you, and we're having a good time doing it. And I hope you're having a good time following us.
Yep. Dee says, most welcome. Well done.
Thank you, Dee.
Thank you. Rachel says, happy to see your YouTube success. Congrats.
It's been
Thank
fun.
you, Rachel. It's been fun. 8 years of doing this and finally seeing results.
Well, we're opening ourselves up to a much larger audience now.
Yes.
There isn't a limitation onto the audience that we're opening to.
Yeah.
YouTube
has
can
definitely
just-
delivered us
Yep.
to the right
Yep.
crowd.
Yep.
Not to say that our RVers are any less. They're
It's-
following us over,
Right, but
but
it's still focused.
the reach it's hitting the people interested in Alaska life and living
Yep.
up here, and it's showing here even in this chat today that people are interested about moving up here and what
Absolutely.
life is like.
Yeah, KT, there
And,
she is. Another
yep.
question.
so you picked a very good name for your channel. How
Thank you.
that name wasn't taken by someone already?
And that's the thing
Right?
too. When she talked to me about naming the channel, she did a bunch of analytics and research onto what we should title the channel.
Looking at keywords,
And I was really surprised that those 3 words were not already taken up one way or another.
I know there's several other channels.
There's Living Free Alaska. No, that's
That's us.
There's
Home Free
Alaska, and
they live just up the road from
Yep.
us. There's Simple Living
Simple
Alaska.
Living Alaska. So there's quite a few.
There's it just one thing that was really nice that I'm finding while I'm editing is RVing to Alaska, living free Alaska.
Yeah.
So it fits perfectly when I have to cut out when I would say RVing
Oh.
to Alaska. When I cut back
You can just
in,
overdub into it.
I dub over. Well, I don't dub. I cut and
Cut, yeah,
discard.
yeah.
But the timing, the syllables, everything's the same. Sometimes I forget when I'm doing my narration and I just automatically RVing to Alaska. And I'm like, oh wait,
Oh,
nope,
redo
I
that.
gotta redo that.
Living Free Alaska.
And what's funny for people that have been around from the beginning, this is our 3rd rebrand on
It is-
YouTube.
Well,
yes.
yeah, 3rd rebrand, but the second one we kind of say was
No.
kept the same audience.
Well, yeah. Our first
Yeah.
one was Pauhana Travels, which was when we were traveling all
Mhm.
over. And then when we decided to make the move to Alaska and start our RVing to Alaska business, actually make it from just a hobby to
Right, to a
an
business.
actual LLC. I mean, we have to pay taxes on it. We generate income from it.
Mhm.
We sell advertising, all that. Then we rebranded to that because it just made sense.
Well, we're living here now, so we felt that we could actually call ourselves RVing to Alaska and provide that information as residents.
Yep. And then another friend of mine is a YouTuber, and just about a month ago, he's over in Europe right now.
Yep,
RVing.
I know who you're talking about.
Ben with
Ben.
Outliers
Overland.
Overland.
Yeah, Ben and Rebecca.
And he had messaged me, and we were kind of complaining back and forth how YouTube just does not, once you're in a box,
Mhm.
they don't expand you out of that box
Right.
ever again. You're tied to it. And he's like, you almost have to start over.
Because they rebranded as well.
Yep. And
And with the same audience. They didn't start a new channel, they just rebranded.
it was like 2 a.m. when he
Mhm.
sent me that message, and I woke up and I looked at my phone and I couldn't go back to sleep the rest of the night.
I remember that night.
I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to rebrand. I need to do
Mhm.
this over and not just change the name of my original
No.
YouTube channel, because
Nope.
that did not work
Mm-mm.
at all when we started putting the new content. So I'm like, okay, I'll do a second channel. A lot of channels do that.
It's a lot of work.
They have different topics, different audience. And I'm like, I'll start a second channel. So then I made it, and then I asked people to sub, but I really didn't have content. And then I threw some, you'll see there's a couple of videos of real
Real-time stuff.
from
Yep.
this from
This past winter,
December on. I threw that up just to have something for people to watch. And then on Monday, I decided, okay, starting Monday,
Here we go.
I'm going to do 1 video a day. I watched a YouTube channel success story where she said she posted daily, once a day for 20 days. and she grew her audience. And I'm like, okay, that's what it's going to have to take. And I did it. And again, here we are.
Boom, blown up.
Yep.
It's amazing. It's really cool.
We've got a viewer from down in Soldotna.
Soldotna,
Hello,
hello.
Francisco.
Isn't it nice to be a bit warmer now? You guys got cold too, didn't you, down there? Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Yeah.
And big family, congratulations on your growth. You deserve
Thank you.
it.
Yes, thank you, big family.
All right. Well, we've been sitting here for an hour and 10 minutes, and I'm not going to lie, just like on my live last week.
You got to go pee.
I got to go potty. So I
Wow.
think this is a good time to say goodnight.
You haven't had that much to drink yet.
No, but it's been an hour and 10 minutes. But, and there's no more questions. So
Okay.
I don't want to just sit here and
Right.
blah, 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 blah.
Oh, one more just popped
one
up.
more.
Thought.
I love watching your channel. I watch with my wife, and at times I leave my game console to watch and see you guys.
Oh my gosh, you
grow.
leave your game console to watch us.
I'm from British Columbia.
Awesome.
Thank you, Noel.
Thank you.
Or is it Noel? Noel.
That's Noel.
Noel.
Oh, something else.
I'm Judy Frank. I'm Judy. Frank is my husband. Hi, Judy.
Oh, Frank is our Judy and Frank.
Judy and Frank.
Nice to
from
meet you guys.
Soldotna.
Oh, good, good.
So if we ever come down there and go fishing, we'll have to maybe have a
We
meetup.
may have to find out where they live. Are they close to the rivers? Hmm.
Well, we're going to let you guys go. It's Saturday night. I know it's now 5:10 here in Alaska.
Yep, it's getting later
It's
across this
dinner
country, the
time.
lower 48. Yeah.
I think we need to go find something to make to have with our sourdough bread.
Oh, I didn't think about tonight. When I was at the grocery store today, and I bought a bunch of stuff. You know, tomorrow, Super Bowl.
And,
I got a whole bunch of stuff. For
yeah,
tomorrow.
we have friends coming over for to watch the game and just enjoy each other's company and do another sourdough, which I've got to take my peek.
And that might actually turn into Monday morning sourdough pancakes with the friends.
Very much. Who knows? All right, guys. Well, thank you. We'll do this again another time. I don't know if we'll go live every week.
No.
I just thought, it'd be really nice to get to know our viewers and just have a little chat and you to ask us questions. These were great questions.
Oh, we had a good
I
time
really
with you guys.
appreciate it.
It was a lot of fun.
I thank my mom for being on and moderating. We had no one being jerks, so that's always nice. And if you ever want to come to Alaska and you have questions, feel free to reach out to us. And keep on watching every day this month or however long it takes, a new video, and then we'll start vlogging in real time. Sourdough waffles are great. Yes,
I bet.
yes.
Well, I gotta have a waffle maker. Dang it!
Oh,
gotta buy
look
one of
at
those.
this. Go 49ers.
No, we're going Chiefs. Kansas City Chiefs.
Sally enjoyed the both. Okay, guys, I'm gonna just quickly show everyone's comment, and then we'll close it out with my mom laughing at me.
Oh,
Thank
good.
you, Mommy.
Thanks, Paula.
All right, see you guys next time.
Have a great night, guys.
And we'll
Cheers. Cheers to you all.
to a great night and a new family with
Yes.
Living Free Alaska.
See you next time.
Okay, take care.